Wildman Wes here, and welcome to Day 8 of Shocktoberfest 2023. Now, recently I did a review on Creepshow 2, and I'm not a huge fan of sequels or reboots, but you know what? For the sake of argument this year, since I haven't done a lot, it's about time we do them. I need to just rip the Band-Aid off and just deal with it. Today we're going to be talking about 1986's Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. This movie is about a young radio DJ named Stretch who gets a crank call from a couple college students thinking that they're just being smartasses, but it turns out while they're playing chicken with somebody on the road, it happens to be the Sawyer family, Leatherface et al., tormenting them, killing them while they're being recorded on tape for the radio station. And Stretch is wondering what's going on, and she starts playing it on the radio, and the Sawyer family catches on to this. They're not happy about it, and they're going to shut her up the best way possible. While in the meantime, we have a former ranger, we have a former Texas Ranger named Lefty, whose family, I believe it is Sally and Franklin from the first film, Franklin being the boy in the wheelchair who got sawed up in the beginning of the film, and Sally being the survivor of the first film, are his relatives, and he's trying to catch the Sawyer family and figure out how to put them down once and for all. He meets Stretch, and in the midst of all this, Stretch gets assaulted by the Sawyer family. Her good friend LG at the radio station gets assaulted and abducted, later on becoming flesh meat for the family. Eventually, Stretch and Lefty join forces, go to the Sawyer house to try and subdue and destroy the family. Well, of course, this doesn't necessarily pan out in their favor, but however, Lefty, being the vengeful soul that he is able to subdue Leatherface to a degree with a couple chainsaws, as much as Stretch is using her cat-like reflexes and agility to get away from the Sawyer family, even though her psychological breakdown watching the death of her friend LG is making it hard. She is able to get away and also destroy the man from the Sawyer family known as Chop Top, a guy that has a metal plate in his head, former VA, and he likes to put a lot of wigs on, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. You know, this movie it went off the rails a little bit, I'm just gonna say. Now it's time to talk about what I like and what I don't like about the film. What I do like about this film is that Tom Savini does the special effects for the film, and much like with the original Creepshow, the original Friday the 13th, we're talking countless films, he is able to bring a better gore factor in 1986 than in the original film in 1974. I think a lot of these classic people from the 70s and 80s, from directing and special effects, a la Tobe Hooper, Sean Cunningham, Wes Craven, you name it, people like Tom Savini, people like Howard Berger, people like, Kevin Yeager as well. These people, when you put them together, they can make some movie magic, especially in the special effects department. One thing that I actually really enjoyed and appreciated about this film is that in the original film, you just see the Sawyer family as a bunch of cannibals that are just killing people and they're psychotic out in the middle of nowhere. In this one, you find out that one way how the Sawyer family is able to keep their stuff at bay, that they don't get caught, is the head of the Sawyer family, Grandpa himself, he makes chili. He wins chili cook-offs all the time, and the secret ingredient is in the meat. I think that's hilarious. I also do like the cast. For the most part, the three names that come to this film that have done a lot over the years, we have Caroline Williams that plays Stretch, who went on to do a lot of other films and a lot of reboots and whatnot, and she's had a great name for herself. My favorite out of all of this, Bill Moseley. Bill Moseley is Chop Top. I love him and so many things that he does, in particular from the last time that I did Shocktoberfest, where he plays Luigi Largo from Repo the Genetic Opera. I've met him personally at conventions, and he is just one of the nicest guys in the world, and will have any answer to any question that you have about horror movies, and he doesn't make you feel like you're being just like this creepy nerd. He has such a love for the fans, and Bill Moseley, thank you. And of course, if we're going to be talking about legends in the film industry, how can we not forget to talk about Dennis Hopper playing Lefty, the Texas Ranger? I mean, come on. His film resume goes way, 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 way back. I mean, we're talking past into the 60s. I mean, one of my very first movies I ever saw him in was Easy Rider, and I loved him in that. And, I mean, he did so many movies, some pretty good, others not so good. I mean, come on, he was in Super Mario Brothers, but we'll save that one for a later time. Alright, now it's time to talk about what I don't like about the film. This is going to sound weird and morbid, but I'm going to say it. Not enough deaths. There, I said it. I mean, basically, throughout the original film, people are getting picked off in a particular manner. I mean, I believe somebody said once in an interview for the documentary, his name was Jason, either that or The Elm Street Legacy, Never Sleep Again. A horror movie is like a Broadway musical. You can't go about 5 or 10 minutes without a death. In this one, within the first 5 minutes of the film, we get 2 deaths. After that, we get 2 other deaths. One of them being a villain. Leatherface, you don't know whether or not he dies. Chop Chop, you do. Lefty, you don't know, because it is at the end of the film. And LG is near the end, right between the middle and end. And in this situation, yeah, not enough going on to keep my attention. I was just kind of like, okay, there's a lot of cat and mouse in this one, which I get it, they were trying to be different, but when you've watched the original and you see X amount of characters being picked off, you expect to see the same and in the same time frame. So for that one, I know Tobe Hooper was trying to do something different, but unfortunately, in this one, Tobe, you dropped the saw.
Phrasing?
Now, there are some deleted scenes that were on a special edition DVD that I once had, and one of them actually had a bit where the legendary film reviewer Joe Bob Briggs is in it, where he's coming out of a movie theater and basically Leatherface is killing people. So, had they left that in? I mean, yeah, would it have taken away from the film? Yes. But there is so much comic relief in this film and so much poking fun at the genre itself, it would have worked. And I really wish they would have left it in. Okay, now it's time to grade this movie. Now, as much as I love the concept of the Sawyer family and Leatherface, and as much as I love Tom Savini and Tobe Hooper, some of the things that I didn't like are really waning on me on this film and for this review. I'm probably going to get some heat. I'm going to give this one C+. I have to give it a C+. It does something different, but it really went off the rails. And it just... At least it didn't go off the rails in, as bad as other films down the line. Maybe we'll get to them, not this year, but soon. Well, we hope you enjoyed this review that I gave, for better or worse. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you didn't agree with me, you can leave a thumbs down. I know there's a lot of people that really love this film, and I tip my hat to them for being the biggest troopers of them all, because in that situation, the Saw is family. Also, make sure that you push that little red button, and don't forget to ring the bell for instant notifications on Dragonfire Entertainment. Other than that, I'm Wildman Wes, and we will see you tomorrow for Day 9 of SHOCKTOBERFEST 2023. Take care, and as always, stay scared, kids.